Hi everyone, today I'm going to share my very easy almond bread recipe. Start by preheating the oven to 375 degrees Fahrenheit. And you can either have it as a regular toast or you can just have it with your favorite soup. To make the bread you will need food processor, and you can do it by hand, however it's gonna take you a little bit longer to beat the eggs by hand, so it's always better to have a food processor for that. You will also need 6 room temperature eggs, 4 tablespoons of room temperature butter, and over here in this bowl I have 3 teaspoons of baking powder, and I have 1/4 of a teaspoon of cream of tartar, and this is what is going to make our bread a little bit more puffier. And also I have 1/4 of a teaspoon of salt, and I have 1 teaspoon of dry yeast. And you don't need the yeast if your body doesn't react well to yeast, don't use it. However, the yeast helps to kill the eggy taste a little bit, because for some people the bread could taste a little bit more eggy. And you will also need a bread pan, baking pan, some sort of oil to oil the pan, and finally you will need 1.5 cups of almond flour. So first I'm gonna crack all 6 eggs. You don't have to. This is what I did. I combined a couple of recipes, changed a couple of things, so you don't need to separate the yolk and the yolk and the whites. I just do everything together, and it turns out pretty darn good. Nothing fancy, but I don't eat much bread. However, if I'm having a soup, I like to have something bready with it, and this is a great alternative. Oopsie doopsie. Okay, and egg number 6. Okay, and now I am going to add all of the dry ingredients and mix them with the eggs and close it. And I'm just gonna do pulse, so I'm not gonna do it too fast. So now you see how stuff gets stuck on the side of the blender. So you're going to need a little spatula to scrape it down. And once you scrape it down once, that's it. You don't have to do it again. It's not gonna go up there. And now I'm gonna do a little more blending, just to blend whatever I scraped from the walls. And I am going to do the pulse option again. Gotta hold it. It's moving. Alright, that was about 15 seconds, I would say, no more than that. We'll open it again, and I've seen recipes where they completely melt the butter, however I do not. It's like true room temperature. I took it out of the refrigerator last night actually, and the reason I'm not microwaving the butter is because the egg whites will start, if it's a little bit too warm, the egg whites will start reacting and turning white as they were being cooked, and we don't want that. And now we'll do a few more pulses. Gotta hold it. So that was about 15 seconds. Alright, that's good. And now we need 1.5 cups of almond flour. So here is my almond flour. I need 1.5 cups, but I don't want to dump the whole 1.5 cups all at once. So what I'm going to do is, this is 1/2 cup, so I will do 1/2, and then another half, and then another half, and I will do mixes between each one of the cups. So I do a little mixing, and that doesn't have to be much. So literally, you just pulse it. We just don't need any clumps of almond flour. All right, and then we'll do another 1/2 cup, and I buy my almond flour from Amazon. Down in the description of the video I'm going to leave a link, because this is a really good almond flour and pretty good buy as well. So we'll do a couple of more pulses here, and the third 1/2 cup, and we're done with the almond flour, and the oven is ready. How great is that? And do a few more pulses. The last one you have to do very gently. We don't want this to turn into like too much of a liquidy mess. And I can see from here that I am doing darn well, and that's enough. That's totally enough. This is what the mixture looks like, and I'm gonna clean up here a little bit and I'll pour it in the pan. Alright, so first I'm gonna oil up my pan a little bit, and I'm using avocado spring oil. You can use whatever makes you happy. Not too much, not too little. And now, if you're using food processor, always make sure to stick your finger in here so the blade doesn't fall in the tray. I'm gonna start pouring it in, and make sure to scrape everything because the bread it's not very big as is, so we don't want to lose any of the goodness. Never hold the blade like this, it's very dangerous. You know what's easier? To just use your finger. And I'm gonna scrape the rest of the dough from here. You see how it's nice and dense? Some videos I've watched, they claim that it will be too runny if you don't separate the whites. I will add the original recipe to the description, but in my opinion that is just fine. Alright, now I'm just gonna kind of shake it, make it all nice and even. So this is what it looks like, and now I'm gonna put it in the oven at 375 degrees for 33 minutes. And it has now been 33 minutes. I'm gonna take the bread out, take this ridiculous gloves off, and I'm gonna let it rest for about 20 minutes. Don't touch it, just leave it as is for 20 minutes. And I'll be right back so we can cut through it. And this is a bit better of a close-up of it, so you can see what it looks like, but we're not touching it for 20 minutes. Alright guys, it has now been 20 minutes since I took the almond bread out of the oven. So now I'm gonna take it out of the tray. I'm gonna move the core here. I'm gonna take it out of the tray, just flip it over and just let it fall on its own, and it should fall off pretty easily. And now I'm gonna place a paper towel over it, flip it over, and just let it sit for another 2 or 3 minutes before I slice into it. Alright, so I waited a little bit more than 5 minutes, but I had something to do. So you can see how some moisture got absorbed here. So if you don't, let me just say this first, if you don't want that brown crispy stuff on the outside, you just bake the bread for 30 minutes. However, I really like the crunchiness on the outside, so I'm gonna slice it in so we can see what it looks like on the inside. Look at that. Perfect little bread. There you have it. It's really nice. You can use it for soups, and you can also put it in a toaster and add some butter to it. And I hope you enjoyed this recipe. I hope it's helpful, and if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you have any questions, please put them in the comment section below. And if you're new to my channel, please consider subscribing. And as always, thank you so much for watching. I love you all. Goodbye. Oh, and I store it. One moment, please. And after the bread cools completely, I just store it in a little Ziploc baggie so it doesn't get hard and dry. And that's it. Bye.